What's your name? Where do you live? And why did you come here?
My name's Brad. I live out on the west side. I was working in Mesa. Came in to pay my respects.
What is it about what Charlie Kirk stood for that upsets the left, the Democrats?
Because he was effective. He wasn't a radical. He was a moderate by any stretch of the imagination. I disagreed with him on a great number of things. People would call me an extremist. He was the best of us. He was a moderate. He could speak to my boomer grandparents just as much as he could speak to the neighborhood kid down the street that's 16 years old. And he knew how to connect with the youth. And he went into the left's power circles, the universities, and he corrupted their people away from them. He took them back from them, and he was effective at his job. And he was the only one left of us willing to debate them and use words, and they killed him for it. And you assassinate the last right winger that's willing to debate in good faith and change your minds, and you show that words don't work anymore, and you prove that with a bullet, things can get very ugly very, very quickly, which is something that Charlie talked about all the time. So that you have to have debates, because if you don't, people speak with their fists and they vote with their rifles. And that's not something anyone in this country wants, but it's something that we're fast approaching. And I pray not only for Charlie's family, but also that he wasn't the last gasp of desperation to try to steer us away from that. Because you can see in 1930 Spain just how bad it is when things get to that point. And that's not something I want for the country that I love. But, the rules have changed. I felt it last night. I mean, even more so than Trump in July when they took a shot at our president. There's a level of, not expectation, but almost like acceptance that I was surprised and I was shocked and horrified and angry, just pissed off, infuriated. But at some level, you sort of understand that is a risk of the job that you're under as a presidential candidate or as a president, especially one that's trying to make some good changes. We've had presidents assassinated in the past, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. So I think that had less of an effect on me and people like me. But Charlie Kirk was a civilian. He's just a guy who cared deeply about this country and deeply about his people. He cared deeply for his faith and his family. And he committed the crime of speaking to the left and speaking to young kids and trying to convince them of the words